Welcome to Resale Radio. My name is Nick, a co-founder of Hustle, a company that Ava and I have set up in order to build and strengthen the reseller community, as well as share and improve the journeys of other sellers. The seller that we have on today, and I'm speaking to Will from Thrift Haven. All of his socials going to be in the description down below. And keep in mind your favorite part of the podcast, because we're going to want to hear that as well. Leave that in the comments. Now, you're in for a special treat because today we have got the very first American ever on the podcast, so a lot to learn here. Let's get straight into it. Well, most places I like to start at the start, but for this one, let's talk about the Mad About Doing magazine. How did you end up in there?
So honestly, I think like maybe a few months back, maybe in like the summertime, or a little bit, like we were still in lockdown, maybe actually. So like June, maybe around then, I think she followed me with the magazine Instagram account. And I just followed them. I followed her back to the page. I thought it was cool. And then I didn't really think much of it. But then I think later on in the summer, like August maybe, I think I saw something on her story that was like, if you want to be featured, or actually, I think I just DM'd her and I was like, can I be in the next issue? Like, how does that work? And she was just like, yeah, it was really easy. She was like, you could be in it, whatever. She sent me an email with like all these questions to answer. And that was that. And then she actually had someone make like a graphic design thing for my page. Yeah.
Oh, so what did you actually like? What did she say about you in there? What did she highlight?
So she was asking me about my journey on becoming a top seller on Depop. So basically it was just like how did you start this or whatever? Like, did you always think you would make it to become a top seller? Like, stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly what the questions were. It's been, I gotta get the magazine. If you want me to, I could do that.
No, that's all right. That sounds sick, though.
Yeah,
you've just
cool.
had yourself out there. Have you seen anything come back from that? Have you had people pop up saying they've seen you?
So no, not directly. People have seen me from the magazine, but a lot of people, because I posted it on my story, a lot of people, they thought it was cool and they said like, that's awesome that you're in there.
So what was it? Just sharing your story, saying how
like who's like your do you have any inspirations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, hard, like what did you have to do, all that good stuff.
So how did you first get involved with Depop then?
So I first downloaded Depop, I think back in 2017 or 2018, but I wasn't really selling a lot of stuff on there. I just had it more as like a personal account to buy stuff. But back then I was more buying Supreme and like Bape and stuff like that. Not really like vintage stuff, but more like hype streetwear. That's what was really popular back then too, in like 2017, 2018. So I had that and I was getting some stuff. Like I had one listing, I think, for like a Supreme shirt, never sold it, and then never really went back on Depop again until last summer. So summer of 2019. I just graduated high school and I was like going to college and I was like, well, let's think of a way we can make money, I guess. So then I downloaded Depop again and I was looking on YouTube and stuff like how to make money or like good ways to make money. But then I remembered that I used to sell some Supreme and Bape and it was good money. Like Supreme shirts back then, you sell one shirt for like $100 or something, like $100 or something like that. In pounds, it's even more because I think the pound is worth more than the US dollar, but it was good money. So I was like, why not do that now? And then, but with like thrifted stuff, because I couldn't buy all like stock of Supreme and Bape. It's too expensive. So I just went out to the thrift stores, bought some stuff, and then posted it on Depop. And then that's how it started again.
That's one thing that seems to be completely different in America. That we do have charity shops here in the UK, but they're a lot smaller. They're literally just sort of like a newsagent's kind of size. That way you just go in Christian chocolates and that kind of size, but with some clothes in it. Whereas in America, you've got these massive stores just filled with like vintage clothes, isn't it? Is that where you go?
Sometimes. So I haven't been to the thrifts as much lately as when I first started, but like, yeah, like you said, there's some stores that are just like, they're like basically warehouses of stuff. So like, I don't, do they have Goodwill in the UK?
No, we don't.
So yeah, so there's no Goodwill. That's one of the biggest stores I would say here, Goodwill. There's Goodwills, like there's a lot of Goodwills. I live in New Jersey. There's like a few Goodwills by my house. There's probably maybe 10, probably more than 10 in the state. But then there's also these things that are Goodwill outlets. So it's like a thrift store itself is really cheap already. And then there's an outlet for Goodwill. So basically, these Goodwill outlets, they're huge. They're like the massive warehouses. And then there's these bins. Everyone in America, we call it the bins, but there's these bins set up across the warehouse floor. And then basically, people just come in and they dig through the bins, and that's where a lot of people get really good stuff.
So you said you don't really shop at Goodwills anymore. So what are the places that you shop at?
So I like I've been selling, I've met a lot of cool people that actually they have like way more stuff. Like they just have a bunch of stuff they try to sell. So I'll buy stuff from some of my friends that I know. Like I'll buy a bunch of stuff at one time. Or I'll hit the thrift stores sometimes. But where I'm from around here, like whenever I go to the thrift stores now, because it's become like a really big thing, I guess you could say, probably in the UK too. But it's become a really big thing like this past year in America. So like everyone isn't thrifting, like everyone does it. So it's harder to get like I used to go on the weekends. I would spend all day going through all the stores in New Jersey. But then sometimes I would come home with like not a lot of stuff and I wasted like a whole tank of gas for like nothing really. And then that kind of bothered me because I was like, well, I'm kind of wasting money just driving all around the state, putting miles on my car. And I'm coming home with like 3 shirts, 4 shirts. So I'm just like, it's not really worth it. Because if you want to get the good stuff, you got to be there like right away. You got to be there once it opens, or got to be at the right time. You got to be lucky. That's how it is sometimes. More luck most of the time than to actually, like, there's no skill. You just got to be lucky. You never know what's going to pop up on the racks.
Yeah, we had a similar experience when we would go into London, and we only did it once, so we probably didn't give it a big enough shot. But we went into central London and we picked out all these charity shops that were like, there was like 5 or 6 of them just dotted around. We planned out our route and we ended up almost running out of time. We were literally sprinting from shop to shop across London trying to get into these places. And I think we bought one Tommy Hilfiger coat. And
Yeah, exactly.
it's just such a waste of time. It's a waste of money with all the travel. And afterwards, you just don't really feel that great. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
That's what I was feeling. So I was just like, I'd rather buy. I still go to the thrift store sometimes, but just not as I used to try to go like a few times a week. Now it's probably a lot less than that. But also where I'm from in New Jersey, there's so many resellers. Like everyone really does it now. So it's hard to there's a lot of competition, especially in New Jersey.
So when did that start coming about then? I'm assuming when you were doing it back in 2017, it was a lot easier.
It was lit like when it was 2017. I actually found out about thrifting from this guy on YouTube named Paul Cantu. He's from Texas. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but that's how I found out what it was in like 2017. So I was still in high school, but basically I was selling, like I said, I was more selling like hype stuff like Supreme and Bape. And he kind of would talk about that sometimes, but he would also show like these thrift store vlogs where he would find like Polo or like Tommy pieces or like Chaps Ralph Lauren. And I was more into that stuff, like wearing Polo, Tommy, and stuff like that. So I was like, how's this guy finding this stuff for that cheap? So then I went to my thrift stores that were around me, and I was finding the same stuff, and I was like, wait, like you could find like nice Tommy, Polo, etc. for like $2. So then I was like hooked immediately. So I started doing it all the time. And then I started like a little page in my high school, and I would sell to the kids in my high school, but that was only for the summer. And then once school started up again, like I didn't even have my license, so I couldn't even drive around to the stores and all that. So then I stopped. But then, like I said, a few years later, last summer, I restarted it.
So is that how cheap you get your clothes for? Like $2?
So back then, when I would go a few years ago, it was really cheap, like $2, $3, and it was really cheap. up until about maybe even when I was going last summer, it was still really cheap. But then I think the not all the stores, but like some thrift stores, they started to raise their prices as they realize that people want this stuff and are
Mm.
reselling for a lot more, which is kind of, I don't know. I don't really like how the thrift stores are raising their prices considering they get all of it for free.
You get all of it for free. How does that work?
So how do the stores in London, or not London, in the UK get their stuff?
I'm not too sure. I know some of them it's like either donated because it's charity
Yeah,
shops, or they get given it from like wholesalers that it's the ones
yeah.
they don't.
That's basically like what it is here. A lot of it is just donated clothes. Like there's so much, it's for good, like Goodwill, that is all donated, I'm pretty sure. Every Goodwill, all the stuff is donated. I know there's some private thrift stores that aren't, like Goodwill's a nonprofit organization, but I know there's some stores that are like private thrift stores, and I think they might wholesale their stuff from like rag houses. But even still, they're getting it for like really cheap.
That's crazy that Goodwill is non-profit and it's that big.
I don't understand how Goodwill's nonprofit, but they like make a lot of money. So I don't understand how they do that. Because I know like the
Yeah, 'cause I
CEO.
see every American that's doing like a reel or a video on thrifting, they're always in Goodwills.
Yeah. It's like the most common, it's like a huge chain of thrift stores across the whole country. So I would
Mm,
say it's like the most common place. Even when I was a little kid, I remembered like the Goodwill logo, but I never knew what it was.
mm. And it's just where you started going to. Well, did you actually use it? Sorry, Goodwills.
Growing up, no, like I didn't even really know what it was. I just remember like the little smiley face logo.
Mm,
There's one that's right by my house, this road I have to take home, and I would always see it when I was little.
mm, mm. So is that the one you go to feelings to an early morning, get there before everyone else and try and find a lucky pick?
Wait, what'd you
Hmm?
say about getting there
Hello, did you
before?
hear that?
Yeah, it
Yes.
cut out a little
Just
bit.
the day when you're waking up early and you're feeling like to really go for it. It's then the days when you go to Goodwills because you've got to get there early before everyone else.
Yeah, I've definitely done that a few times. The Goodwill outlet is what, and if there was Goodwill at just a few weeks it was open, I was getting there like every day at like 8:30 in the morning right before it opened and getting stuff.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I've seen some of the lines queuing outside. It's crazy. It's the same as like Boxing Day sales.
Yeah, there was, I got there early. The first day there was a big line, not big line, but a line. And then I remember the next day I got there like 30 minutes earlier and was first in line.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you've moved from doing the high end Supreme, Bape, all of them. And now you're doing like your Adidas, your Tommy, your Ralphie.
I
And
like it.
you're
I
doing
like
quite
it.
like unbranded things as well.
Yeah, I
It's
have a bunch
kind
of
of,
unbranded stuff. Wait, what'd you say?
are these the kind of clothes that you enjoy wearing more?
Like Tommy, Adidas, Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like this right here, like this is one of my favorite sweaters right now. Just like simple Adidas, embroidered, good quality. That's like my style, I would say. Like simple Nike stuff too. But then there's also some stuff that I wear that's like it like pops out and is like all over or will be like a nice graphic tee or something like that.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people they find this that it's easier to sell the clothes that they like. Because when you're getting it in, you're like getting excited. If there's something in your size, you wear it for a few days before throwing it up.
Yeah,
Bit easy,
exactly.
you're not really interested in.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes too. Like I remember when I was thrifting a lot more and like handpicking each piece. I remember like I would only buy stuff that like I would wear. But then there's certain stuff though that like I wouldn't wear that's not my style that other people like love. So like sometimes I would pick like something that I wouldn't like up and being like, oh, someone else would probably buy this.
And does that come from experience from selling before and seeing that piece go?
Yeah, exactly. It came from experience because like some stuff I would just buy. I don't even know why I would buy it. But then, like I said, I would sell it. So I'd be like, even though I didn't like this, someone else like really likes this. Like for example, I always get like, not always, but I get these shirts sometimes that are like this like 2000s like dragon type. I don't know how to describe it. Like dragons on it, like Japanese, like Asian type graphic stuff like that. And like I always know like there's this one person who whenever I get this stuff, they buy it every time.
Yeah. Yeah, it always nice to have a customer that's going to buy all your stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So I've seen that you've built up quite a following on your Instagram, almost like 9,000 followers or something. How'd
Yeah,
that?
like 6,000 maybe.
Mm. How did that come about? How did it start? How'd you build it? When did you start taking it seriously?
So I started on Depop August of 2019, and then I made the Instagram in November, and then I just made it. Like I didn't really know what I was doing. My logo was terrible. My logo was like a Snapchat font that like I literally made in Snapchat. It was terrible, but I just wanted to start it because I was like, no point in waiting. I'm gonna start it. If we need to change something, we'll change it. So I started it in November, and then uh didn't really grow a lot. Instagram is hard to get followers on organically, and I never wanted to buy followers. I don't like when people buy followers. But then, so what I was doing at first, I was basically just like following a bunch of vintage resellers, thrift accounts, all that. Some accounts I liked, I would DM them. I'd ask them like for advice on like a someone who's just starting. And then some people answered, some people didn't. That's just how it was. But then I just kept doing that. But then in January or so, I started posting videos on TikTok, which is like it's like a video. You guys probably have it. It's TikTok. But I started posting on there, and then I would get like a little bit of followers from there. But then I think I had like one viral video in like April, and I got a ton of followers on Instagram from it. So that's where I think a lot of my followers from Instagram have came from TikTok.
Oh, right. Do you focus more on the TikTok than Instagram then?
Yeah, honestly, I post way more on TikTok. I just think like Instagram, I really don't like Instagram. Like
Oh,
it's
really?
really more it's like I like it, but I just hate their algorithm. Like it's bad for me at least.
Mm. So, okay, all right. Let's focus on what you like then and see it. So this viral video on TikTok, what was that?
So this is during quarantine in like April. So like we were locked down. Literally you could only go to like the grocery store. That was it. So all the thrift stores were closed. So I was like panicking, like, how am I gonna get new stuff? So that is when I actually started to go more into like buying wholesale from other people. So there's this Depop seller Gucci G11. If you know him, he's like, yeah, Johnny. He's really big on Depop, but he posted something, I don't know, but basically I bought a box from him and I made a video about it, and then it got a bunch of views on TikTok, and then a bunch of people were asking me for mystery boxes. People were buying stuff from my Depop. People were asking Johnny. He told me he got like a lot of followers from it too, and a lot of sales.
Mm. Well,
So
how did you then build up? What videos did you follow it up with? Or
yeah, so basically I just started. That video did really well. I think it got like over like a little over 1 million views or something like that on TikTok. So I would post videos like that, but I wasn't taking it like too serious. Like I was just posting stuff that like I was doing already. And then I got this box, so I was like, might as well show this off. Like people will probably like it. But I was just posting stuff that like I was doing anyway. So I was like, why not make a video out of this? But then as I start to get more followers in there, I now I try to like think of videos to post, or I'll try to like repeat the same videos that have done well in the past.
because me and Nathan ourselves, we're trying to work out TikTok. We're trying to get big on there, get some more views on there, see what people like.
You definitely could. You guys have, if you post your clips, I feel like you guys could definitely go viral with your clips.
Really?
Like
Yeah,
that one clip that actually I was laughing really hard. The one girl that you had on that was the one that sold the
yeah.
main like social distancing or whatever. Like that was hysterical to me. I was laughing because that girl on like that Depop drama account, she went like that post like blew up, I think. But that was really funny. So I feel like, and I think I may have seen that on TikTok as well, like a video of someone talking about it. So I feel like if you had her like posted a clip of her talking, like that would be funny.
Yeah, yeah. See, we could do stuff like that. We tried to do some other Depop tricks, but we've not quite worked it out yet. And I know that other sellers in the UK, they're recently moving on to it. So I'm wondering, someone like you who's gone viral and has been doing it for what, roughly a year, maybe just under that. Like,
Yeah,
what have you learned that time?
like a year now. Like probably a year now.
Mm. Yeah. So what have you learned? What's different from the start? Have you learned anything about the algorithm?
So I honestly really I couldn't I the thing I know about the algorithm is like it's basically one could have changed, but my understanding of it is like so when you post a video, it gets sent out into like a sample pool of viewers. So I think I watched a video about it. It's like 50, it's like 100 people, I think. And then basically, depending on how well it does there, that determines if it's going to get pushed out more. So there's like a grading scale. So there's likes, comments, shares, retention, like rewatch rate, and like average watch time. And it said that like if people are rewatching your video more, like if you can get people to rewatch it more, it's better for it. And it said that like likes and comments on this algorithm grading scale like don't matter. It said that like well, they not that they don't matter, but it's like the least important. It said that like retention rate, shares, and like watch time is what matters the most.
Right.
But sometimes like it's just weird though, because TikTok is like I said, like I really don't know because sometimes you'll post a video that you don't even think anything of, and then it gets a bunch of views.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to us. We had one that went up, and we didn't expect it to do that well. Got like I think close to 10K. Then had another one that Ethan put up, which I thought was hilarious, and I
Yeah,
think it really get past 500.
yeah,
And
exactly. It's really weird. And sometimes even like you can post a video that won't do well, and then you repost it, but like change the sound or change something small, and then it will do well. It's really weird TikTok's algorithm.
I don't know if you've tried it. I've seen a couple of people try it where they have like the hashtags going on, and sometimes it's the music that you use.
The sound, yeah.
Yeah, and so they'll do a video which is completely unrelated to the sound, but they put that sound on there, and I think because it's that sound and it's trending,
Yeah.
right, it's massive.
Yeah, I've tried doing that. There's like accounts you can follow that will like post like trend watch and stuff like that. But there's been times where those trend watch people have like said to use a sound, and then I've used it and it's worked pretty well. I don't know if it's like a main factor that will cause your video to do viral, but when a sound is trending, if you use it, you never know. Your video could be the one that blows up.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's your aspirations from here with your store? Where's it taking you?
So right now I'm still in college, so I'm like a second year in college, so I still got to finish school. But once I finish school, hopefully I could do it full time and get like I'm still have all my stock in like my house. So hopefully I could get like a separate space for that, like not like a huge warehouse, but like some type of office space where I could have everything in like one location. And then yeah, we'll see where it takes us from there, but that's what I'm hoping to do.
Yeah, just looking to take each day as it comes, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
I don't see why it won't work out as like in already a little like a year and 6 months, 5 months on Depop, like the growth has just it's been good growth, like one step after another. So we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah. No, that seems like a healthy little mindset you got there. What I'm interested in is from our side, looking at the US, like what we're talking about with the Goodwill stores and all of that. It seems like it's a much easier scene to get into and to make money on. And I'm interested in what does it look like the other way when you guys look at us and how we do things.
So I know Depop started in the UK, and I know like it started there, and I honestly think that like the thrifting, not the thrifting scene, but I think a lot of inspiration has been from the UK. But me looking there, I don't really know what it's like to like. I don't really know too much about like the life in the UK, so I don't know like if it's easier access to people over there. But how I see it is, I kind of see the UK as basically very similar to America. So I think it's the most similar in terms of like culture. So
Mm,
I would think that it's pretty easy. Like if anyone wants to, they could just go out, find some clothes, and post it up.
Yeah, fair enough. There's definitely a different style. I feel like in
Yeah, so
America.
what's the style over there? Let me know. I don't know what it is.
So I think we get a lot of like the vintage Adidas and Nikes and all of that, and the ones that were in like the 80s and the 90s, and
Yeah.
that is very much like the main thing. And this is where I could be wrong, but it seems like looking at American places, you've got a lot more unbranded, sort of like those tees that you're talking about with the dragons and the Asian style, or like the Ed Hardys. I said unbranded, but Ed Hardy, that kind of style of print.
Yeah, you're definitely right there. So yeah, I actually never thought about that. So does like unbranded stuff not sell as well in the UK?
No, it definitely does still sell. I've spoken to a lot of people that sell it and they do very well on it. It's just that the majority of people you'll see selling sweatshirts like the one you're
Yeah,
wearing.
exactly. Yeah, I sell, honestly, I sell a lot of unbranded stuff that it does pretty well. A lot of, it honestly just depends I think what it is. Like if it's a cool design and someone wants it, they're going to get it. If it's something that's like, excuse me, if it's ugly, I don't think anyone's going to buy it.
How do you know what to price things at then? Does that just come from one by one buying unbranded pieces?
So I try to just price things based on like what I buy it for. Like I'm not trying, like I know a lot of people like they try to get like max profit whatever they want, because you could do that, but I think if you just price stuff fair and if you're making a good profit, and I think if you just put it at a good price that's like not too high, you'll sell it quick. So that's why I think is better just selling. I usually sell t-shirts for like 25 bucks. Like for example, I'll show you right here. Shit. Like this is like a Harley Davidson t-shirt. Got this
Mm,
cool like pirate motorcycle graphic on the back from the Bahamas. This I'll probably sell this for like $25 shipped.
mm.
Maybe if someone messaged me and was like 20, I'd probably say yeah.
Yeah, and what do you get it for?
Honestly, I think I got that for free. I might have got it for free. Oh no, no, I didn't get it for free actually. I bought it in a big box from one of my friends. I paid like probably like $6 for it.
So do you have a
Would
certain
you?
market you're trying to hit?
I mean, I'm probably just gonna sell it for like 20, 25. Like, there's other pieces in that box that like were really nice that I made way more on. Here, I'll grab one real quick actually.
Yeah, go on, go on.
So I sold these two vintage 80s Nike polos. Like I got these in the same box, and there's another one, a twin blue one. I sold these to the same person, but like I got these in the same box, and I sold this red one for like 110, and then
Mm,
I sold this one for like 80.
nice.
Like that's just an example. Like those were in the same box. I made really good profits on those, and so that one, like I'm not really worried if I don't make the best return on it.
Yeah, because when you're buying a whole box, it's about does the box make profit? You can't start worrying
Yeah,
about a piece needing to make a certain amount because they're not the same.
exactly. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what's the Depop fee and everything in America? Is it the same as UK? We got 10%.
Yeah, ours is 10%, and then plus like the 3% PayPal fee, or if you have it linked to your bank, the bank fee is 3% or 2.9% as well. So it's
Mm.
basically like 13% of your sale. Give it away. Depop slash the bank or PayPal, whatever the payment processor they're taking it.
Yeah.
It's not
So
too bad.
it's not too bad because you get everything for it. But are you trying to move away from that at all? Because I just saw in the parcels that you showed me that you got a little business card in there. I'm wondering what you put on it.
Yeah. I just put I put these stickers in there. It basically just has my logo. And then I have another sticker. It looks like this.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
So
sick.
I'm gonna throw the stickers in. Yeah, they're cool. But honestly, I've thought about people have told me to make a website. People have been like, why don't you just make a website? Like, you won't have to pay fees. You won't have to do all this. And I'm honestly just like, honestly, Depop is like an amazing platform. Like, you post your stuff there, and like, there's no other platform that is like focused on vintage, thrifted stuff like that, like Depop, like Mercari, eBay, Poshmark. Like, the culture of those apps are just completely different. Like, Depop is made exactly for like what I'm selling. So I'm like, might as well just post it there. Like, they've provided so many opportunities and stuff as well for me as a seller. So I'm not gonna leave them. They're cool. I like, and also the people that work at Depop, they're really cool too. Like,
Mm,
everyone is just community is just nice.
yeah. So what involvement do you have with the community, or what experience do you have with the community?
So there's when you're a top seller on Depop, you get added into this like it's called Slack. It's an app, but it's basically just like a big group chat place where you and all the other top sellers, plus the workers from Depop, not all of them, but like some of them, are put in like this chat. And there's a bunch of channels too. So like there's certain channels where it's just like discussion. There's one that is strictly for like Depop updates or whatever it is. But that is where like if you want to directly talk to a Depop employee without having like file through support and all that, it's good for that. Because if you want a quick question answered, usually most times if they're working, they'll be able to answer you pretty quickly.
Hmm. Yeah, and I do recommend that if people have our top seller and got Stack to use it, because we at first, when we were made a top seller, did not use the platform at all, because we just didn't deep dive into it. We had a quick glance over it, and there was a lot of people asking the same questions. But I think once you get involved and you start interacting with it, throwing out your own questions, then you start to find the answers that you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm not like too like I'm not active like every day I'm talking, but like whenever I see like probably check it every day though. Or like I'll usually sometimes they if they do the same thing over there, they'll ask like a question or from one certain day, and then like everyone says their feedback on that question or whatever it may be. But I just think it's good. I think it's good that there's a place where the sellers can really communicate with the people that work at Depop, because that's important. Because there's been so many times where I've seen, not me personally, but people have had these like crazy issues, and they felt like they couldn't do anything. But then they talked to the workers from Depop in the group chat, and they've been able to get quick responses.
Hmm. So just before that,
Like,
you were talking about Mercari and Etsy and all these other apps that do similar things to Depop. Have you had experience with them, or have you just avoided them?
so when I first started selling, I was cross listing on like eBay, Mercari, a little bit of Poshmark, not Etsy, but I was cross listing on a few platforms, and it was fine. But I realized early on that I was getting more sales through Depop, so I just took everything off of the other stuff. And
Mm.
also on Depop, I feel like with the pieces that I'm selling, like vintage stuff, you get more for those pieces. Like on eBay or Poshmark or Mercari, like people won't typically pay for what I'm selling at, or they'll want to pay like a lot less.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense because the clothes that we look for, we can find when we were handpicking, we would find on eBay because they tended to be cheaper. So we would buy from eBay and then put onto Depop sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of people do that. I kind of used to do that with eBay. I would snipe out. That's what that we call here. You snipe. There's eBay snipers. Like, you snipe nice vintage pieces that you can sell for a lot more. This is my best snipe. I'll show you right here. This is my best
Mm.
snipe.
Mm.
1975 Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man. This was my
Oh,
best snipe on eBay. I got that
yeah.
during the quarantine days. I still haven't sold it yet, but I have it listed for like $375. That's why.
Oh my days. How much did you buy it for?
I sniped it on eBay for $20.
Oh my god. How do you know it's
I
worth that?
So I looked up on Depop like 1975 Marvel Comics, and I saw this other shirt that was just like that, but it was the Incredible Hulk, and it was really ripped up too, like not good condition. And she was selling it, I think, for like 500 or something. And she was like, I never saw this piece anywhere else online except on Etsy for 500. So that's why. Or no, she might have been asking for less. But I even did my own research, and I saw this same Spider-Man piece up, I think, on Etsy for 500 or something like that. So I was like 375. It's a nice asking price.
Yeah.
And no one's offered me on it either, though. That's the thing. Like, I would accept an offer definitely, but no one has offered me for it.
That's the problem when you got things that are so rare. You're waiting for that one person to come along and buy
Yeah.
your stuff.
Honestly, like, I don't even want to get rid of it. Like, I like just keeping it here. Like, I like having it on my page too. Like, it's a really nice piece.
And it's almost like that's your high-end piece. You're not really worried about how long it takes that to sell. And then you've got your other piece, like your Nike tees and that, which you want to sell quickly and drop the price.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, you've got that whole range getting all the customers in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've found though that on Depop's rare stuff like that does not sell as well. Like, it won't sell quickly. I think the best platform for rare stuff like that is eBay.
Oh yeah, have you got it up on?
What'd you say?
Have you got it up on eBay?
No, I don't. I actually don't have it up on eBay just because I just keep all my transactions through Depop because it's easier. But like, there's like eBay. eBay is just one of the biggest selling platforms because it was also like one of the first ones created when the internet like started. But eBay, there's collectors on eBay that like aren't on Depop that will pay for stuff like that, and like rare band tees and stuff like that. Like, if you look up like Rolling Stones tees on eBay, like certain ones go for like a lot of money.
There you have it. There's our conversation with Will from Thrift Haven. Very, very interesting to see what it's like on the other side of the pond. Be sure to leave your favourite part of the episode down in the comments. We'd love to read through them and see what you think. For me, the best part was hearing about the TikTok algorithm and how he got his success. Definitely some notes I'm going to be taking down there and putting into practice. Again, find all of his socials in the description below and find everything Hustle. Check us out on Instagram if you want any more. And again, I will see you in another episode.